Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
We intend to offend, we will offend, and if you have a delicate sensibility, click the X button in the corner, or if you're on a Mac, the red button in the left corner. Monty, welcome to the show of offending people.
Well, it never happened and I make shit up. So just, for the last couple of weeks, everyone that has asked for a reading, apparently you're all from Scotland, from Hurley in Scotland. You all live the same lives. It's very metaphysical, because we're all one. And I can't read the Akashic Records. I didn't even have a card.
Welcome, everyone, to another adventure into comedy. I am once again joined by my intrepid comedical co-host, Monty Dean.
Hello there.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. I actually used that greeting to see if there's any Star Wars fans out there. But hello there. General Kenobi, you are a bald one. And you all suck. None of you like Star Wars. I'm gone.
So how many Star Wars fans are there in the chat room today?
And it could be anything Star Wars. And there's a lot of it.
Oh, we've got a few. This
is the way. I wonder what you watch.
All right, everyone. This is our last comedy show of the year. And today we are going to be taking the piss out of a lot of things. And what we're going to start with today is all those COVIDiots who think something's going to happen on the 21st of December, 2020. Now, Monty, there's 1,001 predictions from the sun's going to sneeze and kill everyone on the earth. COVID's going to kill everyone. Xenu from Zeta Reticuli is going to come down and give everyone an ass ramming. Let's take the piss out of this first.
Kind of scared of the last one, so yeah, comic defense is like, yeah, Xeno can zine off.
Xenu from Zeta Reticuli, yes.
Because I love you.
he has a Uranian fixture.
Not bad for a fictional character, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, Xeno, is that like part of that whole gender identity where call me Xenu?
Yes. And he has a fixation with certain orifices, orify.
Yes, and it's like the Scientology that we have not photons, but there's small alien beings that live in us, and I'm thinking I just made the connection as like metachlorians in Star Wars. Is that where that came from?
From Metachlora, yes. From the land of Lucasville.
Well, I'm still waiting. Someone is in. Well, how old Star Wars now? It's 47 years old. It was released in 77. My math's terrible. So that's 43 years old. They still haven't named the galaxy that this all happens in.
Yeah, that's because it's Lucas Entertainment.
Well, yeah, I call it the George Galaxy, but my feeling is that it's probably the Milky Way. So, excuse me.
So over the past, 7-8 weeks, I have been being bombarded by these questions. What's going to happen on the 21st? Mm-hmm. Or do you agree this is going to happen? No, nothing is going to happen. Now, I know everybody here has their own perception, but many of you follow the view nothing's going to happen. What I would like for you to do, everyone that has a social media that hasn't been banned yet, to once again remind everyone nothing is going to happen on the 21st. And I would encourage you all to take cash bets that the aliens aren't going to come down. You will win. You will win.
Yes.
Check the hopium users in their wallets.
Yeah, if you believe it so much, just put some money, energy on it. Now, technically, something does actually happen. It's the same thing. I mean, it is the end of an 800-year cycle, or Saturn and Jupiter get close to each other, and that's basically what's going to happen.
What if you weren't on the planet? What if you weren't on the planet 800 years ago for the last cycle?
Yeah, well, I don't think many people do remember that. I remember in 1220 went. No, you don't. No. I'm sure there's some beings in Algartha going, what? Oh, anyway.
just another turn of the solar system.
Exactly. So even with, have you seen the meme where they've taken Leo DiCaprio's face when he's doing that laughing, which is that meme's hit the ground running in the last 6 months. But they've put it on the Mayan calendar. It's the person that wrote the Mayan calendar, but he got the numbers mixed up. Instead of 12, it's 20.
Yeah, oops, dyslexic Mayan calendar.
Oh.
Yes. So I encourage you to put cash bets down with the hopium abusers that are still saying that's going to happen. Now, the other day, somebody tagged me in a Facebook link that declared I agreed with something. Ooh. Now, I hate it when people tag me in a link saying that their points of view are true. Now, he ended up banning me, ironically.
There we go. That's the one.
Because I said, I agree with nothing of this post in any way, shape, or form, and you would have to be a fucking idiot to believe any of this. Yeah? Obviously, that's bannable offense, but this does not stop people from using the Facebook rules to make other people think you agree with something. Okay, and this particular thing with the Anunnaki were going to come down and change everyone's DNA, and that you had to stand up and fight all them. Okay.
Yeah, is it a way of they're trying to manifest the timeline they want because they like the idea? Oh, there's going to be a solar flash. What makes you think that happens? I like the idea.
Because somebody else on Facebook said it was going to happen, and I've adopted it as my full belief.
Yeah. Speaking of which, shouldn't the first M class CME that's happened in the last 3 years that's hitting us now? Or
no, we had an M class back in March.
All right. See, it's so hard to research nowadays. Here's a statement.
Spaceweather.com will give you all the information and when the last time we had particular types of flares. It's the most accurate website for solar flares out there.
Yeah. Mind you, after 2020, it was like, oh, there'll be a solar flare and the KP and everything else like that. Now it's like, okay. Because the energy's been so up and down, where you actually have a natural occurrence of something hitting the planet energetically. Some of it's like, when a bug hits your shoulder and the bug goes sorry and flies off. It's like being, all right then. It's not like your 4-year-old son throws a basketball at your head.
Okay. Now, if we end up having more solar flares, which more than likely we will, that is your opportunity to do your individual self-awakening, self-healing, self-nurturing, self-discovery journey. Ooh, not for the global narrative to come in and say, you're free.
Yes. When there is those energetic opportunities, if you do the right thing and you're in alignment, you can use them to your advantage instead of the whole thing about, there's a solar flash, which means something outside of you is affecting you to have the ultimate goal. Solar flash 5D, we all win, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, no, that's not how it works here on the planet Earth.
Yeah, it's going to be a juicy solar fart.
Yeah. Instead of doing the mastering every day and getting out of that the energetic mud, and there's the programs, and we're being crushed and all that, and you actually slowly raise your true vibration from the inside, because everything is inside, because your body's a TARDIS, and everything else is a reflection. So save that instead of, no, there's going to be a solar flash.
Okay.
Like, meh.
So what I'm going to offer as homework is that people come up with counter 21st memes. Everything from nothing's going to happening to it's not a solar flash, it's a juicy solar fart. I would highly encourage that you click into this homework and you really work on the counter 21st December 2020 meme. Because there's a whole lot of non-believers who might take it worldwide and viral.
So basically, cosmically, the sun has had some Taco Bell, and bam.
Bam, exactly. The sun is running for the toilet.
So you need, when you need a colon cleanse, try Mexican.
Try Mexican, try Taco Bell. Grade D quality food, fit for animals.
Oh yes, the 3 days of darkness. That's because you're on the toilet and you go, this colon won't give it up. Yield, damn you, yield.
Now you had to run in so fast to make it to the toilet you couldn't turn the light on.
Yeah, I
now,
do. That's the go
the
ahead.
irony. Remember, it used to be 7 days of darkness, and they've reduced it to 3 now.
Yeah, I think it was 10, then 7, and now 3.
Yeah.
It's now. Well, also, what does that mean in the creation of Earth? Going dark means I'm off social media. It doesn't mean we walk the whole planet's in darkness and you can't see a thing. So it's, and it also, it could be just the idea of I'm going to try and find the right example. We find out that Kanye actually won the election, and the media goes dark for 3 days of like, what the hell's going on? How are we supposed to? How do we spin this narrative?
Exactly. How do we spin this narrative? He wasn't supposed to fucking win.
And after his interview with Joe Rogan, I'm like, well, yeah, why not? That was my sort of my feeling with Tulsi Gabbard. It was like, yeah, give her a try. She seems to be cluey, and she actually genuinely cares about people. But no.
Now, one of the other things that people are going, so if it doesn't happen on the 21st, it might happen on the 22nd or 23rd. Once again, I encourage everyone here to make cash bets. You'll win. And
then, Andrew, if you want to explain just very briefly, how do you use the solstice, be it summer or winter? I'm sure there's flavors, because it's so interesting here in Australia where it's the summer solstice. So let's celebrate the winter solstice and call it Christmas. What's the like? You can do what's the basic thing when a solstice happens? Just from if it was 3 years ago.
So if it was summer where you're at, that means the most amount of light is available to you. You have 18 hours of light. When it's a winter solstice, you have the least amount of light.
Yes.
So one is about the winter solstice is about creating more light. The summer solstice is about receiving more light. That's the basic essence of it. Receiving the light of the highest amount of sun, taking it in and processing it. And then the winter solstice, showing your light to the universe. How much light can I create?
Yeah, it's based on the way that the tilt of the Earth and where the sun is placed in the sky. That the solstice is where if it's a winter solstice, the sun is the lowest point in the sky, and it takes 3 days for the planet to start to move the other way. And so does this story sound familiar? The sun dies, and then after 3 days, it comes back. I think that's Easter.
Yes, that would be Easter.
Which I find fascinating. Like, wait a minute, the winter solstice is celebrated in the the moon in April. Right. And Christ was born in October, so, yeah.
Well, that's his second birth, don't forget.
Everyone, this is Jesus. He has 2 birthdays a year.
Yeah, birth and rebirth day.
There's a t-shirt. I have a rebirth day each year. Ask me how.
Give me more gifts, damn it.
Yeah. And like people, if you know anyone that's born on Christmas Day or New Year's Day, give them 2 presents. Don't be stingy. Oh, but it's Christmas. Yeah, and it's my birthday. Or buy me a house.
You get a Lego house.
Yeah, boy. I owned a limousine once. It was about that big.
So now that we have successfully taken the piss out of the 21st of December, I again encourage you to do the homework and come up with counter memes that nothing is going to happen on the 21st. Because You are going to get famous with these counter memes. The Akashic Records have shown me.
So there's a daily planner for Earth in the Akashic Records. 20th, Sunday, didn't do much. 21st, fuck all. Flipped. 22nd, giggle at everyone that is disappointed that nothing happened on the 21st.
Yep.
Cool.
Now back to your regularly scheduled comedy program.
I still, not a hope, but I'm open enough to where something actually does happen and it blows your mind. However, the chances that have happening, which is 700 trillion to 1, because the prime goes like, I'm going to piss off Andrew this year. And so, but listen, that's my openness.
I will eat my words with pleasure if something happens.
Well, what if that happens, like, everyone, you can do tours of the Akashic Records. Yep. Hey, I'll eat my hat now, please. Look, this is the stuff I've been seeing since the age of 8.
Exactly. I knew this was coming. I just didn't think it'd come today.
It's going to happen someday. I still like, the whole, well, depending on which timeline you talk about, the whole COVID thing where the prime creator's gone, pink, deal with that, fuckers.
Yes. Have an awakening with masks.
Yeah, the vaccine wars have begun. And that's kind of funny as well, where like, look, the released vaccines, and then 3 days later, we're going to calm down. People are acting really badly from the vaccines. Yes. The ones that have only taken 8 months, even though there's no cure for cancer, allegedly. The flu shot only works 40% of the time after doing 70 years of the information. It's so interesting where certain parts of humanity are driven by fear, and then they're told the man in the white coat is a god. Well, listen to them. That reminds me, I have to buy a white coat.
Yes. Dr. Monty.
Yeah. Well, my initials are MD, so
I know. MD.
I sound like a party drug. You got any of that MD, man? No.
Dr. MD.
Empty. I'm not empty, you bastards.
Exactly. Now, as we progress to the end of the year, shit's going to happen when it comes to this political travesty that we have going on. But in all reality, whatever looks like it's going to be happening, behind the scenes, the lizard wizards are getting cut down. The global coup d'etat is going on, and the vote of no confidence from Hollow Earth is starting to take shape. But are we going to see any of it? No, we're not going to see it. The awakening will not be televised on your channels.
Well, if you look at it, it's the framework you have to look through. I mean, it is spiritual and otherworldly, and there's different dimensions, but it still comes down to commerce, corporations, and business.
Right.
And if you look at it, that's like, you don't find out that Shell has had a coup in the boardroom till afterwards, if they allow it out, and especially because the humanity is the energy herd, and you don't want to find out the farmers owners are in deep shit,
right?
There may be an element of like the herd will stand up and it's like, hey, enough.
Exactly. Also, you don't want anyone to find out about the vote ahead of time because your stock prices will drop.
Yes, there is off-world marketing and supply and demand, which because I have conversations with Andrew and I can't remember if it was on air or off air when we talk about stuff. Like the earlier this week, we had a 3.5-hour conversation. At the end, it's like, oh, we should have recorded that.
Yes. So there are plenty of corporate farmers who would love to take over the farm ahead of time. Okay.
Yeah. The whole corporate takeover, like we can do better. It's like what, like last weren't you in charge of Atlantis? We know what you did.
We know what you did wrong. You fucked up so bad. The lizards have been running this place for 10,000 years.
And you saw what they did to Mars. So sit the fuck down and just shut up.
That's right, all you purple blue beings who think you did it all. You're the ones that fucked it up so bad.
So they're half blue chicken.
Yeah, blue turkeys.
Okay. Now, just very quickly, blue chickens, is there a species of the bluebirds, or are they a manifestation of bullshittery?
So they were, in the Corey Good words, they're blue avians, a half bird human that had blue wings.
Yeah.
And somebody called them blue chickens.
Yeah, well,
and from that point on, they've been just known as the blue chickens, the cult of the blue chickens.
But in creation, there is a species of blue bird thingies.
Oh, there's dozens of them. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they're not like the Daleks that are just a creative example of fiction. Am I there yet? No.
So no, they're not a fiction creation. They're real.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's all right then. So, but still, all the KFC jokes still apply.
Yes.
To the blue chickens.
Yes. Okay. And we've made fun, but I think it was several shows ago. We made horrible fun of the blue chickens.
Yeah, I can just see them. They land on the White House lawn like, we're here to save Earth, except for we've seen what you do to our kind, and so we will enslave you. This is for the Colonel. Bang.
This is for the Colonel. Exactly. You racist fucks.
you bathe us in 7 herbs and 11 secret herbs. They're not really secret. One of them salt. All right.
And pepper.
And salt, pepper,
garlic. We know that.
Yeah, if you really want to know, just look on the internet, because there's enough people that have been fired from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
That no.
Yeah, and that's why they used to be called they're called KFC now, because the marketing said having fried in the name because it's unhealthy. And I was watching Stranger Things season 3, and they were having Kentucky Fried Chicken. However, they called it KFC, and I'm like, that's not right. It's 1984. They didn't call it KFC in 1984. And the other fun part of watching shows like that, it's supposed to be a period piece from the 80s or the 70s, or even like Outlander in 1774. And you can see a chemtrail right across the sky. I'm like, yeah. But that's natural. Yeah.
Well, you just can't help the chemtrails. Back then, they were fucking everywhere. Now they're virtually nowhere.
Well, yeah, the first time I saw a chemtrail was in 1997. And my first thought was, that Skywriter wants to get fired. It's so weird where people go, they're not real, and you look behind them and there's a crisscross mash, and that's just normal condensation from planes. It's like, well, who's directing traffic up there? It's like,
exactly.
Because the only time I haven't seen them for a while, but I don't look up at the same time, so I don't know if I'm validating it in my reality. But it's usually from a Melbourne perspective, because we have an airport and you actually have flight plans and everything else like that. But when they do a chemtrail, it's twice as high as other planes, and its flight path is completely out of a zone type thing. Where it's for visual aids, it's like this. But the chemtrails are up there, and they go across the lake, and then but that's condensation. Apparently, it's stupid water, because it takes 45 minutes to slowly sink to as it spreads out. Contrails shorten, chemtrails expand. Oh, they're all fake. We don't know what. Well, I'm sure you may be able to, but are they saving the planet? Are they destroying the planet? They won't say.
Both. They're saving and destroying the planet. because they're schizophrenic.
That's so Earth.
Okay, Planet Earth, run by idiots,
controlled by psychopaths.
Controlled by psychopaths.
All right, to put this, I don't know what the. I've discovered I can do an almost okay Alex Jones. What they do is the psychopaths tell the morons, spray this. And then the morons fuck it up.
Well, that's the definition of the NWO now. New
Mhm.
world organized ignorance.
I bring that up when I'm on my roundtables. Like, there's a new world order, yeah, but they suck at it because they could have done this, at the start of the 20th century, where they had the control. Yeah, three people were trillionaires, and you had World War One, and then the result of World War One was World War Two. And here we are, even with 9/11, that's 19 years ago. These people are idiots or they suck. Well, world domination, but we keep making mistakes. It's like you want to watch a James Bond film, but you're watching an Austin Powers film.
Don't know the difference sometimes because
Yeah. It's like, Hillary Clinton's just like a Bond villain. Yeah, a crap Bond villain. Like she just gets away with stuff.
Monty, you've always been a cunning linguist.
Yeah, well. Yes, Actually, I was watching Doctor Who, and I realized where I got the idea from for Hermits United. It's because the Doctor's talking to some people. It's like, well, you're all different. It's like, we're hermits. Hermits United. Every 10 years we catch up and talk about caves.
Yes. See, that's all part of your cunning linguistical speeching.
Yes,
because you're a cunning linguist.
I like that. I am good at speeching. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that fat guy that breaks into houses is back again.
Yes. And for those that are used to go, what are they laughing at? I called him a cunning linguist.
Yes. And I'll be talking to Andrew in the green room. Question from the chat. What am I wearing? I'm wearing a t-shirt, but it's actually The Truth Is Out There but it's the potato, Mr. Potato Head. So there you go.
What a powerful shirt. Yeah. Says everything.
Yeah, I know. That's the one thing I find interesting about, in the X-Files. I believe. And I was like, well, good luck with that. I want to know. Actually, that's a t-shirt we should do. It's exactly the same photo, but it says, I know. And they're bastards.
Exactly.
That's Jordan Maxwell pointed that out. Yeah, a lot of Christians are believers. It's like, yeah, that's cool, but wouldn't you want to know instead of just believing?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Take it to the next level here.
Yeah. I also, it's interesting where for a while, like, are aliens true? And I would have little hints. And once I discovered I had an experience with aliens, oh, you're real. And I just drop that subject and walk away. Like, that question's answered. Yeah, let's move on. It's funny when I meet people, do aliens exist? And I think, oh, you're there. Because where I'm at, the question usually is if I see a UFO, is it ours or theirs?
Exactly. Is it ours or theirs? Exactly.
Do aliens exist? Well, yeah, unless that's the conspiracy that you have 30 ancient civilizations with sky gods, all the photographs, the videos, the documented reports, the experiences, the abductees, the channelers, all of that, say for the last 100 years, all of that is fake. That's a conspiracy. If the whole UFO community is if aliens don't exist, the whole UFO community is a complete massive psyop, and everything, even including your own experiences with extraterrestrials, that's all fake. Now, which is more believable?
They're real. Exactly.
Yeah. With the evidence, the evidence leans to take that to a Supreme Court. We'll go with real.
Exactly. I love how you put it. Everyone's experience is fake.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like how psychology is like when you take a drug and you have a trip or a vision. Oh, that's just the mind putting up hallucinating. Yeah, okay. How can 15 people at once have the same hallucination? Well,
we don't know yet, but you will believe us until we tell you the truth.
Yeah, the rise of psychology in the 20th century. Yeah, the whole thing. God is dead. Well,
it's all your mom's fault.
yeah. Fucking Freud. What I find interesting, it's like, yeah, God is dead. Well, technically, the God that you people have been pointing out, not big G God.
Who
not the Great Spirit.
Who doesn't want to be capital letter identified?
Yes.
What if he's a little G God?
I'd like to see a rap album called that. Little G God.
What if he's an OG God?
Or like Eric the Viking, when they finally get to, oh, dear God. That's a weird looking mushroom there, Robert.
It's a very phallic looking mushroom.
Yes. In Eric the Viking, which is worth seeing. It's directed by Terry Jones, if you can find the right cut of it. But they finally get to Valhalla. And the interesting thing is the Christian can't see any of it because of his belief system. There's nothing there. And he walks through a wall. There's nothing here because of all belief.
Nothing here, exactly.
But Eric actually gets a slight spoiler. Eric talks to Odin, and Odin's 8, played by an 8-year-old, because all the gods are so young at that point in time.
Nobody has ever come out to put spoof movies like they have.
Yes, yeah. Like they did massive research for Life of Brian, where they weren't having a go at Christianity. They were of Christ. They were making fun of all the organized religion because they through actual research they found out that hell was created in the 12th century for marketing and control. Just
like Christmas was a modern creation of the 1920s.
Yeah. Saturnalia, what's the Roman festival around the winter solstice? Saturnalia or whatever it is.
Saturnalia.
Yeah. Where of course the Romans got a bit freaky, where anything goes. Like, calm down. But those wacky Romans.
Well, dumb Romans. When in Rome, don't do what Romans do. It's usually child sacrifice.
Yeah, they couldn't hold England, the idiots. See, that's even it's fascinating where like the mainstream version of the Roman Empire is like, yeah, nice story. I wonder what really happened. Because I think half like all the Roman stuff that happened in the UK, once they left, everything collapsed in a certain aspect. At the same time, the British kept a lot of the structure that they had because they've been living like that for 400 years.
I like what somebody said in the chat room here from Stranded Zero. When in Rome, do what musicians do. Speak English, you foreign losers.
Yeah, that's I've got a great gag. Like, I don't go overseas; it's full of foreigners.
Exactly.
It's that traditional English elite of like, yeah, yes, it's in Doctor Who with Tom Baker, with all the nuclear codes. Britain has them all, and the Doctor said because the rest of them are foreigners. Yes, of course. It's that subtle racism. Someone on Twitter actually said, "What is an Australian superhero?" And I came up with Super Yobbo, where he wears football shorts, a tank top, a terry-tailing hat, and his superpower is throwing beer cans at people, and he's slightly sexist with a hint of racism. So the Australians like that. It's like, you mean a Yobbo from the 70s.
All right, so I looked up the top 5 Australian superheroes. Captain Boomerang.
Yeah.
Harkness, Gateway, Tasmanian Devil, and Kangaroo. I've only heard of Captain Boomerang.
Yeah, it's in Marvel because I think he's in the first Suicide Squad movie.
Okay, and Ranger, Aussie Heroes. Ranger, inspired by Batman's example. Okay.
Yeah, Captain Kangaroo is totally different, isn't it?
And then Blackie Brown.
Yeah.
Yes. That's awful racist.
Yeah, it's a white guy from Sydney. Yeah. Last name's Black.
Okay. So There's got to be some Australian comic book designers out there that come up with a really good Australian superhero. Let's make that a part of our show, Monty. What would a real like quality Australian superhero be?
A white man. However, like, the Lone Ranger with Tonto, he'll be a white guy that is, funny and jocular, sort of like Crocodile Dundee. However, you find out that the Aboriginal that he's with is actually the leader and the one with all the powers, but he just lets the white man be an idiot. Yeah, everyone shoots at him while I go save the day.
There you go. What would an Australian Superman be like?
Annoying to play cricket. Annoying to play cricket with.
Yeah, I know, because you just watched Superman Red Dawn.
Yeah, Red Sun. Yeah,
Red Sun. Yeah.
Drinking contests in the pub all the time. Shark. Oh, you mean this one?
Pub man. Exactly.
Foster's is just piss.
He'd be like Hancock. There you go.
yeah, but with a lighter disposition. he'd be slightly more funny. This pool table's not level. Crack.
Exactly.
He actually used swordfish for darts. Funk.
You call that a dart? Look at this. Now, what would a female Australian superhero be like?
Oh, see, now you're going to get me in trouble. Smoke cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
Strong.
Completely untalented.
That was from the chat room, ladies and
Daniel. Thank you, Car Daniel.
Well, actually, no. I would say that the Australian women are awesome, forgetting the fact that I'd like to meet one of them. Just like, but yeah, it's there is some. Yeah, it's Superman 4. I have to watch that again.
Alan, Outback Wilderness Woman.
Basically, yeah. So, like, just think like Elle McPherson. I think that's how you say it. Or what's her name? She was married to Orlando Bloom. That level, but down to earth, and can lift a tanker truck while still telling you how to make really good lamingtons.
And breastfeeding at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, multitasking is like you he actually has a go at other women complaining. Like, my life, shut up and do it. We've been living in this country for 250 years, and you're having a sook that Daryl won't call you back.
Truck driving with 6 kids in the back. Thank you, Santo.
And the kids are under control and having fun and behaving.
Exactly. So there you go. Australian superheroes defined here on our comedy show.
Yes. They will be awesome, multitasking, and have a right to complain sometimes about men because, as we said, Aussie super dudes in the pub. It's like, the missus is saving the world today.
Vegemite. Okay.
This is all part of our new TV show, Vegan Demons.
A Mediterranean hero would be skinny, sunburned with a joint in hand under the sun without a job and full of hatred, talking on a phone with Jesus. That's awesome. The Italian superhero.
Wearing a G-string.
Yeah, well, or a Speedo.
Yeah, Speedo, yeah. As referred to as budgie smugglers. So.
Okay, so what would a German superhero be like?
Efficient,
Mr. Efficient, Captain Efficiency.
Yeah. We need to call. Oh, he's done it. Everyone say it.
He's already done it.
Yeah. Why do you people call me? Look, you idiots. I came with that. We should have hindsight, man. See, you shouldn't have done that.
Shouldn't have done
you. Or, Captain Obvious, Captain Hindsight, man.
Well,
Those two are really annoying.
Captain Hindsight and Foresight.
Yeah.
Well, so many of the German guys are the villains. That's why we got to come up with a really good German superhero.
Yeah, it's like Star Wars. For a while there, everyone who's English is a villain. That's very American of you. You still all your villains seem to be Englishmen. I don't think we'll be. I think we'll be set off a nuclear device on in Australia fault, and we'll push California into the sea.
Yes.
No, man, don't you do that. I can if I want to.
And then we've got to check, what are the Mexican superheroes like? I know we've got a big Latino following.
Anti-gringo man.
German superheroes, all caps man. Yes.
Mexican heroes. Well, they're obviously a wrestler wearing a mask and they throw flaming tacos.
I think that's already taken.
Well, of course, yeah. Highly intelligent, and they put on a Mexican accent to diffuse the situation. Ay, look what you have done here.
Yes.
These people are idiots.
And then the old Canadian superhero.
Very polite. Don't do that, eh? It's not worth it.
And there are no Japanese superheroes outside of Japanese anime.
Yeah. Oi. You dishonor my family.
I said outside of anime, so Goku is still as an anime.
I think they're in the Judge Dredd world. They actually have. I think Japan, China is Sinnoh or Sinto or something like that. But that's 147 years into the future. It's fascinating. By reading Judge Dredd, I'm just dissolving that timeline because, this is awesome. I wouldn't want to live there. I don't want to create this at all.
So let's get our world superhero tour. So we have the Aussie woman, Mr. Hindsight.
That's very, yeah. Mr. Hindsight would be very Australian. Oh, geez, you shouldn't have done that. Will you go away?
So, Mr. Hindsight, I knew you didn't have a headache.
Yeah. A Tibetan monk as a superhero. Just like he just walks around fixing things and he's disappointed, with everyone. What are you doing? Stop doing that.
Oh, mariachi, exactly. Yes. So, who are the villains that our worldly affairs superheroes have to go against?
The accountant. He's from the city of London, and he gets you with the paperwork.
He's doing paperwork again, and Mr. Hindsight and Hindsight's guys, let him do the paperwork. It doesn't do anything.
The paper cut. Interesting.
No, at that point, our villains have to come. We have to have a South African villain.
Yeah.
This is good. The Kraken Karen. Karen versus Super Aussie woman.
Do you think in Algartha that issue has come up that because the Kraken is only supposed to be one mythical beast that as they come up in the boardroom, apparently the Kraken's upset that it's referred to as Karen now.
Yes, it's very upset that its marketing has been taken over by Karen.
Yeah. The Leviathan Union have sent through a report and they're very upset.
Yes, they do not like this marketing infringement.
We'll have to take that to a spiritual court of law.
So the evil group are the evil superheroes. So we'll have a South African supervillain, Somebody has said we should have an Antarctic supervillain. What is the Antarctic supervillain like?
Yeah. I just like well, for the South African, he's called the Bastard.
The Bastard.
He still thinks it's 1978. For the I always mix them up. There's Antarctica and what's the other one?
Arctic.
Like Arctic
and Antarctic. Yeah.
Geez. That was a quick meeting when they came up with the names. Oh, there's the attic and there's the Antarctic. Well, I thought of this one.
All right, everyone, come on. You got to come up with some Antarctic supervillains.
Santa's house. That sounds like a rap album.
Santa is in the Arctic North Pole. Santa does not come from the South Pole.
Okay. Just everyone does from the South. That's the interesting thing that to bring up slight Twitterness, where there's a theme that apparently anyone that's white is a colonizer, and then they forget that. But didn't everyone come from Africa? So therefore, unless you stayed in Africa, you're not a colonizer. You know that whole out of Africa theory.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Just putting it out there. Mind you, then you have the theory of out of Australia because the Aboriginals, their myths is that everyone was transported to the South Pole and they got to Australia. And it's like, well, that was a bit of a swim. Let's stay here, and then eventually they spread out.
Yeah.
But I have these conversations on my roundtable, and then I bring in what you said. Yeah, but you've got timeline genocide, and there's 72 original species on the planet, and it sort of breaks people's minds because when people have the Anunnaki
stuck in their head, stuck in their head.
This is the Anunnaki timeline. Yeah, that's fascinating. What about the other 71?
Exactly. What about the other 71?
Yeah, and
the vaccinator as a supervillain. There you go.
Yeah, he just injects saline using the power of placebo. I'm dying. Sure you are. What's his superpower? The power of placebo. It's just saline. It's
Placebo Man.
Yeah.
What are his powers? The power of placebo.
Yeah, the power of suggestion. Here's an idea.
That's good. Placebo Man. I think we could make something out of Placebo Man and Aussie Woman. I think there could be there's a potential story there.
Yes. Did he win? Well, he thinks he's won, so therefore being the placebo effect. It was interesting.
Somebody was asking, I was itching. No, I was actually trying to put socks on with one hand and it wasn't working. Because I don't want to go outside for my next cigarette barefoot.
Yes, because I'm closer to the sun and Andrew isn't. So it's cold out there in Den Hills. And a bear could shit on your front lawn at any time.
Exactly. At any time.
Yes, Mr. B. Gates. This will help. Help who? You?
Exactly. Help who? Let me see you take it.
Yeah, you first, mother lover. Yeah. It's like I caught up with a friend of mine yesterday that we haven't spoken for nearly half a decade. And the great question was, so what have you been up to? And if you've been following me here with Andrew, just even trying to explain this for this year, where do you start? Well, I discovered that a multidimensional being that I've been on the planet for millions of years, and I'm here to be part of the awakening I'm fighting by not taking a side and withdrawing from the global narrative. Hello?
All the while saying I'm not a hermit.
Yeah. I'm finding balance in the force by being two things at once. How do you describe 20?
So how did that conversation go over?
Slow, but it did well. Yeah. That's the other thing that I've seen with part of the the awakening is a lot of people have just seen the 3D bullshit, and they're going, well, people certain things they say action, they say word, they say something, and then their actions is 180% degrees different. And so it's like, well, you're a lying sack of shit. And so people are figuring out, well, that classic everything's fine, the false narrative the media puts forward. Everything's fine, humanity's awesome, we're great, and we're going to continue great for 1,000,000 years. And then you have like the South Dakota pipeline protests. It's like, well, hang on. And so I think the spell of the media is waning because I don't know if it's they're raising their consciousness or the pattern recognition is like, it's been like this for 40 years. You're a lying scumbag. As well as, and so as they lose power. It's sort of symbiotic because people are going, wait a minute. And then the legacy media is losing its power and stuff like, and you can see that with YouTube where it's like, we don't like independent creators anymore. Oh no, we do love you. We'll give you some money, but we're also bringing on CBS, NBC, all the legacy media, and we'll put them on our program and we'll look after them. But they've got their own broadcasting, but no one's watching it. I wonder why.
Exactly. I wonder why. So, Monty, how about we open up for some calls here?
Alrighty. So yes.
Let's you're going to run the calls, not me today. So if you want to be on the show, go ahead and click raise your hand. If you are listening on anywhere else, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or anywhere else, and want to be a part of the call-in thing, Robert's going to put up the information for you, whether you're on a phone, internet, or galactic device. Come and join the Zoomy room.
Now, a couple of things. Be funny, and it like if you think you have something funny, share, and if it's not that funny, we'll grade it. But still, I do a lot of jokes where I go, that's brilliant and funny, and it doesn't get a laugh. So I know that level, and you're not gonna you won't get a rating. Well, if you do, I'll just read from a book. So I'll read from the Doctor Who history. So that's basically it. Just have fun and be funny. That's yeah.
And all you chicken shits out there that aren't raising your hand.
Yeah.
Come on. This is Monty's inaugural running the calls. Come on. Give the man some love. Raise your hand.
Raise your hand. Yeah, come on. Bon Jovi. Raise your hand.
There we go.
Yeah, it's better. All right, Robert. Get out the Wheel of Fortune. No, that's a different show. The Wheel of Callers, and spin it up and see who. I know that's supposed to be a laugh, but it sounds like you've been sexually assaulted. So spin it up and let's see who's going to join our silliness. It's the silly season after all.
Pavel D.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How are you? Good. You?
Where are you? Oh, well, I'm fine. Nearly did an hour of material. That's good. Where are you calling from?
London, actually.
Oh, London. I think I've been there once. I was 3 months old. So I can't remember. It was wonderful.
Yeah, it used to be, like you said, it used to be wonderful.
Yeah, well, I think it became a European city, and the rest of England's like, we're not going there anymore. It's odd.
It's haunted as fuck. It's haunted as fuck.
Yeah, haunted as fuck, and the city of London, those wacky royals, and you may know this already, but the mayor of London's a bit odd. This place is safe. Knife crime's gone up 600%. No, it's fine.
Yeah, they know something, but they know nothing. That's the thing.
Well, yeah. The things they know that they think they know is like, we're better than everyone else, and it's like, no, you're shite. So, have you enjoyed the show so far?
Yeah, I'm listening with 1 year, and another year I'm playing chess at the same time. Yeah, well,
playing 3D chess.
Yeah, exactly. About
who you playing chess against?
The bots on chess.com.
What rank are you?
I think 600 something. Hold on, let me. put 600 or 800, something like that.
Pretty good then.
No, I just tried it. I'm sure you know about this new Queen's Gambit,
Hmm.
the show. Yeah,
I've watched it. Yeah.
yeah, it's amazing.
Never got into chess, but it's a simulation of war, isn't it? That was sort of one of the reasons that it was created. So, you wouldn't go through all these 8-year-olds with swords. It's like, well, let's just use little small tokens on a board and you can learn strategy.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting with the chess and the same time Buddhist. Both of them came from India. So at the same time, they're philosophical, but also intuitive, and it's just amazing how they come up with the both rational and emotional at the same time. So they got this religious part of it, and then the very rational, very logical, very I'm gonna kill whatever stands in my way.
Oh yeah, I just had an interesting thought as well. I've seen people that now this is not a euphemism, and not from the rap world. When you play yourself. It's not you played yourself, y'all, but when you actually, to me, that is fascinating because I guess it's a teaching thing where you actually you're one side, you make a move, and then you flip around, and you're actually playing yourself, and you know what your strategies are, and so I guess that expands of like, how can I fool myself when I'm playing?
The interesting fact that you mentioned that if you think about it, it's black and white.
Well, yeah, but that's just like the yin and yang, and
yeah, exactly. So you're basically battling yourself at the same time.
Yeah, and yeah, it's fascinating. So I guess I need someone to play with, and we can learn that way. And yeah, a lot of times it's stalemate. Well, that's so like life.
Exactly, it's exactly like life. It's exactly like life.
And of course, it's played on a mason board, 64 squares. And have you seen that meme where the Queen has actually gone to, I think it's Westminster Abbey, and she's standing next to a bishop, and people have just gone, "Be careful, the Queen can move any direction," and the bishop's in trouble.
I haven't seen it.
Oh,
but I can imagine it.
It's quite funny. Queen, bishop, and they're on the checkered floor. Like, she can go anywhere.
Anywhere, indeed.
So, do you have any? Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, just any jokes that stuck out, or do you have anything funny to say, or any situations that you've seen in the week?
Yeah, well, today I opened up my phone and I've seen that a couple of people got anaphylactic shock from this COVID vaccine, and I found that pretty funny. That is pretty funny. At the first week, you just roll out the vaccine and 2 people died of it. It's just amazing.
Yeah,
it's like botched operation.
Oh, it's dark humor. However, we sort of knew that was coming down, that was going to happen. Where it's like, we've only done 8 months of research and we haven't tested it on people, but we'll give it to people to give the illusion that everyone's safe. And as I said at the start of the show, like they're trying to roll out the vaccine, and these people keep dying. Maybe we should hold back. And so it's interesting part of the narrative. Like, there's going to be vaccine, everything's going back to normal. Crap, the patient's dead.
By the way, have you heard the meme? One is like 2 mice in a lab rat. It's like, hey, you're gonna take the vaccine? No, why not? Because they haven't finished tested on humans.
Yeah. I just want Pinky in the brain. What are we doing tonight? Not taking the vaccine, Pinky. We have to make sure that the humans are surviving first. And if you've read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you find out the dominant species on the planet that controls everything are mice. Where I think Arthur Dent says to, I can't remember, he's got a long name. He created Sweden and won an award because of all those fjords. Plans of all mice and men. No, it's just plans of all mice.
I just got a question for Andrew. You see the mice, speaking of mice, I think there's got to be some kind of a contract made with the mice representative or soul family, because they kind of on a big rat wheel on this planet, so they have to fulfill this role, but it's got to be some kind of a huge contract with all that race.
It's a version of hell. Like if you do too many bad things karmically, you come back as a lab rat.
Over and over and over again. That's like on a wheel.
Until you balance out whatever bad shit you did.
Yeah. I remember the gentleman from LA who runs the dancing stuff. We pointed out, like, I feel like I'm a rat on a wheels. Like, well, get off the wheel. You have the rest of the tank to explore. Like, and it got through to him. He's like, yeah, of course, that makes sense. And I'm like, I must write that down. I like that analogy. Like, if you feel like you're on a rat in a wheel going, just get off the wheel.
Now the question is going to be a bigger wheel once you get off it. Or not?
No. There's a tank. There's like a water bottle in the corner, and
a fluffy little sawdust bed over there.
Yeah. Oh, there's another mouse in here. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, look, he's on the wheel now. Fuck. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, and I think that soul contract, cats are involved as well, because my cat actually caught a family one at a time. They got the dad. Then she got the mum, and then I think she got the son, and I was lucky enough to save the son because like she killed the other two. You know how cats they really need toys, and so they play with them for a while, and she likes to meow like, look, I've caught something. Every time she does that, she like captures geckos and plays with them, and I usually go, well done, pick her up and take her inside so they can bugger off. It's that whole not killing thing.
Do you have cats in Australia? I mean, they're native over there or not really?
No, I think they were introduced. We have a problem called feral cats where, like, you have your domestic cat, which is that big, and these feral cats are 3 times the size because they hunt and kill. Like, they're out in the
like
bush.
a mountain lion's got it.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, basically, yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. Look at that.
We also have rabbits were introduced to as I think part of agriculture, and that they bred like how rabbits do. And there's actually something called, there was a film made about it. I haven't watched it, but we actually have a fence right down the middle of Australia called the rabbit-proof fence. And it's to try and stop rabbits getting to the west side of Australia because they've decimated most of the eastern, because they bred and destroy everything. And I think they also introduced foxes to try and stop the. It's so old school English elitism. It's like, oh, look, we'll bring rabbits. Oh, one got away. They'll be all right. 3 weeks later, we're overrun by rabbits. Maybe we'll bring a fox in. So that's the it's, if you want to see how, I don't think with colonization from the British here in Australia, we're not getting the bond back. Because we've basically lost it. Like, you've screwed up everything. Even Rio Tinto, which is a multinational corporation, mining corporation, they blew up 40,000-year-old Aboriginal artifacts and paintings, and oops. And so that popped up in the news of like, what are you people doing? It's that classic money, profit versus humanity, which is part of what's going on here on this planet.
That's the other Australian supervillains. Corporatocracy.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, like Hydra, but corporatocracy.
I'm just wondering, how come every time they're trying to fix it, they make it a bigger issue than it is?
Because that's what they like to do.
And they're idiots.
They're idiots.
They're like, oh, we'll save the cave paintings by blowing them up. How does that work?
How?
One more question.
How's that fire over there? It impacted it hugely. And how is it now?
We're coming back into fire season, so I hope people have learnt from last year what was going on. It was man-made climate change. Technically, it was, because the climate's changing. However, they defunded part of the fire services. They've diverted water. Like, we've got our river system down the east coast, the Murray-Darling system, but up in Queensland, because it goes from Queensland all the way down to the south coast. They've dammed certain parts in Queensland for Chinese companies, and so the water's stopped at the top. And it's this fish dying, and rivers that are 15 meters wide are down to an inch wide. And when the land doesn't have that moisture, things just get really dry. And we are called the sunburnt country for a reason. And it was so intense, and it was a comedy of errors, where it wasn't just like your car caused the bushfires. No, I'm sure it kind of helped. However, you had everything else where the fire response was defunded, and so instead of having 60 people, you've got 6, and it's very hard, especially with the firestorms, where you have a fire front go through. It's extremely hot, it's windy, and you can have 40 feet high walls of fire traveling at 80 kilometers an hour, and it can go through towns really quickly. And so if you're shielded, you could probably survive them if you're shielded in a concrete box, and the whole thing could take less than a minute. The problem is, if you're not in a concrete box, you get burnt alive instantly because the heat of it. About in 2009, we here in Victoria had called Black Saturday, and I always think of Black Sabbath, but not many people sort of like that, because I think we lost 147 lives. But there were stories of a guy and his family was living in a bush area, in a tin shed, and he thought it was raining. Then you figured out that's the actual fire front coming through. So they grab the kids, their mobile phones, get in the car, and just hammer it off, and they're driving, and the fire's slowly catching up to the car, and then the wind changed. So the fire's going, we're turning left now. So the thing is with Australia is that because the Aboriginals would use fire correctly, they would actually use it to hunt and herd. And so the environment now actually has to have fire go through it to rejuvenate it all. The thing is that the white man doesn't know what they're doing. And so, plants actually designed, they have to have fires so they don't get destroyed, but they germinate afterwards. And so a lot of places are growing back now. I think the main problem is the response. The human is involved. So that's basically what's going on.
Yeah, thank you for the update.
That's all right. So, and Australia's huge, where, we lost the size of Belgium. Well, that's, half of Victoria. We still have the rest of the thing is, hopefully, the idiots in Parliament and everything else like that, if they know what they're doing, the idea of actually talking to the originals, the First Nations, of how you can burn away fuel safely, and it reduces the risk of bushfires. Because that's the other problem. You've got the green element where, no, you can't take any dead wood away from it because it's bad for the environment. And then the same place you're talking about gets wiped out in 6 minutes because there's all this dead wood and fuel. So there you go. Oh, ow.
Yeah, they need to work with them, with the natives, because I think they know better. They've been living there for thousands of years.
Yeah. I think it's up to 100,000 years, and we've had white settlement for 250 years. So there's and they're called caretakers. So there you go. So thank you for calling. Hope
thank you for the show, and thank you for sharing all your wisdom. And thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome, brother. Take it easy.
Have fun. And all right, let's see. Oh, well, look how many hands we've got raised. It's like I'm at a revival. Woo. All right, Robert, spin up the wheel and see who comes up next.
Okay, Ziva Wick, get the signal to unmute.
Ooh, Ziva, are you there? Going once? Going twice? No, they're probably in a bath and they can't reach their phone. All right. Let's move on to the next one.
Okay, Jur Kosak.
Really?
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Very good.
Where are you calling from?
We are calling from Dominican Republic.
Where's that again?
It's in the Caribbean.
The Caribbean. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, my mind, I don't have a map.
No, but otherwise we are from Europe, from Slovenia. I have my girlfriend here close by. She's always listening to Andrew and to you guys. So yeah.
Are you enjoying the show?
She's the one. She's on my Zoom, so she's the one who should be talking. She has a birthday today.
Oh, really?
Her name
Just
is
like a
Anya.
man. Just like a man. I'll talk, darling. Don't worry.
I'll talk to the show you listen to all the time.
He's a real gentleman.
Is that what he's telling you? Blink once for yes.
No, it in a relationship, a man has the last word. Yes, darling.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. We don't want to get copyright striked. I like Sean David Morton had a great birthday song. Now we sing the birthday song, and it isn't very long. So, so if I know you shouldn't ask a lady her age, but I'm like, well, if you want equality, what level are you at? Instead of age, what level? How long have you been on the planet according to the Pope's work schedule?
35.
35. Oh, yeah, sorry. So you're halfway through your 30s. Yeah, it's just a mindset. Remember, as I'm screaming towards 50, I keep forgetting I'm screaming towards 50. It's like I'm a better teenager as you grow older. It's that weird mindset. And then, of course, if you listen to Andrew, you realize, how long have I been on the planet? Oh, millions of years. 35 doesn't feel that old now.
True.
So have we been making you laugh today?
Yes. He was spoiling me today the whole day, and he planned a really nice surprise for me. We had an online celebration with all of my friends in Europe and actually all over the world. So family, it's amazing day, really.
Well, global citizen, nice. That's the fun part of technology, where it's used for good and not evil. Where instead of, like, say 200 years ago, you would have to send letters out 3 months ago. Happy birthday if this gets to you. Which is kind of weird, because if you didn't get the letter, you wouldn't know. Like, hell, if this letter makes it to you, like, well, I'm reading it, so it did. So.
Yeah, I really like your show. Every Friday I'm here, and I'm waiting for this comedy show, and I'm smiling every time when it's here. And he's like, my boyfriend's like, what are you watching? I said, Andrew and Monty.
BARTZIS and Dean. Da, 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 da. So yeah, well, that's the premise of the show, is that we break up the energy of just shit, and I think other people start doing spiritual comedy, because with everything so heavy, like I'm having this weird reaction with people like 2020's been so heavy and evil, and just hang in there and you'll be all right. And it's like, well, people that watch this show are fine, because once every 14 days they get to laugh out all that crap, and we can point out the bullshittery. Where I find it still amusing. This is an actual headline. This is actually happening in Utah. High school students can wrestle, but they can't shake hands because of COVID.
I'm a tennis coach. And I know how it is right now. So shaking hands with the rackets or elbows, similar.
Well, that makes more sense. Like, in tennis, you don't really get close to each other unless you're playing doubles. But if you're wrestling, when you're rubbing up against somebody, but you can't shake hands, but you can rub up against Dave for 5 minutes, but don't shake his hand. That's the level of stupidity, where I think in Holland, the health minister said, like, apparently there's non-essential orgies, which gives apparently you can have essential orgies. Like, really? Like, what? And in Canada, they said if you have to have sex, both wear masks. So, like, well, maybe not everyone has that kink.
Wrong kind of mask.
Yeah. It's Canada, the UK, and some of the European thing. There's the stuff that they are putting out of, like, trying to battle with COVID, where in a pub in the UK, you have to wear a mask if you're standing up, but if you sit down, you can take off the mask, because apparently COVID only doesn't go below 6 feet or some crap.
The health minister in Slovenia, in our country, in European Union, said, yes, well, I'm running. She's a lady. I'm running. And when I run, I know I spread a lot of air around me. So you better have a mask or get away from me, like 5 meters if I'm running. Like, I know that all runners should be aware of their spreading virus now.
Yeah. I can sort of see the logic, but also it doesn't make sense. There's that joke of like people in cars by themselves wearing masks. Like, do you go to sleep wearing a condom? Like what? And also the masks cut off the oxygen to the brain. If you're driving a car, I think you want oxygen hitting the brain.
Much of it.
Yeah. So like, there's a lone mask driver. I'm getting away from them because at any moment they could pass out because of the lack of oxygen. So yes, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Any jokes or any funny stuff that you've seen in the last 2 weeks?
My boyfriend is full of jokes.
No.
He's full of jokes. Every day I hear at least 5 jokes. So I think he has it now.
Well, you
Okay.
as a birthday present to her, you have to tell us some jokes.
Oh,
Yeah.
but this is a nasty one.
It's okay. We swear all the
Okay.
time.
Okay, so a lady is shaving her nice parts, there, down there.
Okay.
Yes.
And she's under the shower and she's like, honey, how do you manage that you shave so nice around your mouth, that you have nice skin, that you shave all of your hair? And he's like, well, there's a thing, with the tongue that the man does. And she's like, can you come here for a second? I need help.
Ha ha. Ha ha. You're a cunning linguist.
There's the title of the show. Oh, so what else do you have planned for your birthday? Just watching this and then crying with laughter till you go to sleep?
Yeah, actually it's already 8 p.m. here, so slowly.
We go early to bed.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah.
You'll have
We
to
can't
explore.
party we
you'll
can't
have to-
party the whole day.
Yes, you'll have to explore your cunning linguist skills.
Yeah. I know you're going to bed early, but when are you going to sleep?
Yeah, that's another question. I still have some unfinished business today. Yeah.
That's right.
It started in the morning.
You got to help
We
her.
are still shaving.
Yes, you're still shaving.
I was kind of worried when you said, "Oh, he's full of jokes." It's like, is he actually telling jokes, or do you just pick fault on him and it makes you laugh all day? Oh, he's
Both.
doing that thing again.
Both.
Both of them.
I got an interesting vagina shaving story to share. This is during my limo days where I was full of quick wit. And I was in a limo bus. So I got 35 people in there. And usually when they get really loud and they start saying obnoxious things, somebody's going to ask the limo driver what they think about what's going on there. And somebody yelled up the front, Andrew, what would you have your woman shave? What would you like a woman to shave her vagina as? And I said, a home wrecker. A house with an arrow through it.
I knew of a girl that actually had a stick man with a lawnmower tattooed just at the hairline. And I think she would just shave that little bit. So, yeah, didn't see it though.
I can't believe people don't get the home wrecker one. Oh, come on. The vagina's got a picture of a house with an arrow through it. That's a home wrecker. Oh my God.
It's the main reason that this stuff happens.
Exactly. You guys got to get that comedy stick out of your ass.
Well, thank you for calling in, wherever you are. We are from Eastern European, but we are on a small island in Caribbean. So, like, well, yeah, you're not a hermit, so this is why I can't connect. You left the house. You didn't leave the house. You left your suburb, city, country, hemisphere.
Continent.
Wow, continent. Yeah, you left the continent. And we're closer to the sun.
Yeah, when people ask us, how did you get there to Dominican from Slovenia? And we're like, with a plane?
Yeah, you know they fly daily, right?
Yeah, like a couple of times,
They've got like seats and everything.
Yeah.
Your landing strip. Thank you, Jamie. Yes.
The land,
All right.
the good old landing strip. Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much. Well, thanks for calling in. And we will be back in the new year as well. So your fix will be fixed.
Your fix will be refixed.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Enjoy your solstice where nothing happens. Maybe you should go to bed on the solstice. Thanks, guys. Have fun.
Monty.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. So another caller, Andrew. What do you say?
Sure. Hold on. I like this one. The other person said, "I tried landing a plane on the wrong plane way on the wrong airstrip once. Now they call me shortstop." Yeah. Yes. Let's do one more caller.
All right, Robert, get the spinning going. I'm trying to think of something funny. Just spin up the wheel of calls and see who comes out.
It's a lot harder, Monty, than you think it is, isn't it?
Oh, the wheel of callers. Yes, sorry. That final call just was like, oh, wait a minute. What do you know? Stop that. All right,
You're
go ahead.
Muted with the guys.
Hello,
Hello, where are you calling from?
from Germany.
Ah, Deutschland, yeah.
Deutschland, genau.
Yeah. Did you
That's
like our
very
idea of having? Did you like the idea of having a German superhero?
This efficiency thing, efficient in conforming, I would guess, would be proper this time. Oh my goodness! If you give rules to them,
yes,
yes, Captain Conformity. Oh my goodness! If you give rules to them, they make sure to each other that these rules are being taken. You know, like the neighbors and everyone walking around. So crazy. Sorry, I just carried my dog downstairs. I'm a little out of breath.
How big's the dog? Because, like, you know,
she is a 30-kilo pit bull.
Yeah, fair enough. So anyone who wants to break into a house, don't.
She will turn 17, so she is. I'm protecting her now. You know.
Okay, I was like, don't give it away. Like, oh, that old, like, she won't attack you. She'll just look at you indignantly, like, really.
But watch out for her human. There's a sign that says "Beware of the human."
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I just thought when, you know, as the comedic brain kicked in, like, a German superhero, and they're like, no, he's Austrian and he was a villain. So yeah, let's not bring up that.
Exactly. Everyone. No, why is no one talking about that? You know, but I think it's about German language. So Switzerland and Austria and Germany, it's like all the same kind of people. You know.
Yeah. It's just someone drew a line on a map. It's like, no, here we go. What I did find awesome / funny in a great way is the demonstrations that are happening in Berlin and other cities in Germany with the whole lockdown and masks mandates. Because I instantly thought, like, yeah, Germans aren't really big on the whole totalitarianism. They've gone through that. They want so, like, hang on a moment. We know this. This looks very familiar. Stop it.
It does, and that's why I'm so surprised that not more people are, you know, realizing that. So,
just in Germany or in the world?
No, I'm mostly focused on Germany because I'm not watching any television or shit, you know. So,
well, that's.
I don't know actually what's going. I only know from what you guys are telling what's going on worldwide. Actually, I have no idea.
That's kind of scary and good at the same time.
I know.
Our view of it's very, very unique.
But I can't handle it otherwise. You know, it's too much for me. I get so anxious. You know.
Yeah, it's just weird that the German government decides, no, we can, you know, implement all this stuff, and it's like, have you watched the History Channel? Like, we've been here 80, 90 years ago, and people remember. Stop that. It's
exactly. I would sometimes, you know, I wish that I could just get on a stage. I mean, I'm a hermit, by the way, also, but nevertheless, I'd like to get on stage and just tell to the people, you know, and now repeat after me. No. You know?
Nine.
Yes. What part of no don't you understand? The N or the O?
Yeah, exactly. But the funny thing is, a lot of people here are complaining about it, so they are seeing it's not what they're trying to sell us, but they're still participating, and this is kind of confusing me. So
I think that probably the element of fear, and that's from the, it's a deadly pandemic, which apparently the survival rate is 99.97%. And so I think they put out that the fear of society is going to collapse, but everyone's accepting it in singly, like internally. Is that a good way of explaining it, Andrew?
Where it's a very good way of explaining it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they make it all. Now, you are the center of your universe, but they're telling you a lie, and it ramps up your own personal fear where, you can't talk to people and blah, 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 and separation and all that type of stuff. And then.
But then again, like as you compared to the history we had here, they are all saying, I'm just in this position. It's just an order which is passed down to me. I said, exactly. The train driver also said he's just a train driver, So those days, so it's like, it's coming down. I love this. I really love the self-responsibility thing. So people actually have the chance now to do that and to actually ask what it really means to them, So it's a good chance to discover that,
Yes. Yeah. That's part of the awakening, where I think it's just the people are waking up that they're asleep. It's not that 5D flash solar thing that's happening on the solstice. It's like, no, it's the what's the ascension? What's the right word, Andrew? Like the change that people are going through. It's a process, not an act.
It's a process.
So, yeah. Process.
It's a process, not an event.
Yeah, that's the way. Because revolutions, it's a process and not an act. Anyway, it's good. It's like turning an aircraft carrier turning left. You can't do it on a dime, because all the sailors will be rammed up against the side of the ship. Whoop, bam.
No, that's what I've learned from listening to your shows, Andrew. To let everyone be where they are and to respect that, because I have certainly a moral code which I'm following. So to put this into the repertoire, to just really let everyone be as he or she is and let them take the time and put the concentration on yourself, because by letting your light shine, you do more than probably if you didn't do it, and try to talk to people and convince them or make them see something or whatever.
There's that element of free will, as well as you pick your own side. You don't choose a side that's put forward.
And that's great. That's so freedom. That gives you so much freedom if you pick your own side. That's awesome.
Yeah, and remember one of the universal laws of do no harm, which is very hard to do because too many flies come to my house. But I did liberate a spider about that size and a moth right after it. I'm wondering, are these omens? Is someone trying to tell me something? But I threw them out into the garden. I do actually have a question for Andrew, because I do find it fascinating. For whatever reason, Germany seems to be the punching bag of the elitists. What did the German people do? Like the Kaiser?
I think the Nazis are still around. No, the Nazis are still around.
Oh yeah, well they all went to America.
People which have never left.
Oh yeah, but you had World War One, where World War One they were blamed for all that, even though they entered it 8 months earlier. But yeah, there seems to be a slight history of the Germanic people, because I think most of Europe started there, tribe-wise, or all that stuff. I'll let Andrew.
Why are the powers of the be beating up Germany? Because they didn't win.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, I like that idea.
Twice they didn't win, and they had all the power behind them.
But he was Austrian, not German.
You know what? You still didn't win.
Yeah. However, because he was Austrian, he is the patsy for all of it, and so Hitler lost. Germany didn't. I mean, obviously the German people did because of just look at the loss of history. The bombing and the destruction, and then those wacky Soviets coming in and claiming half the country. And but the German leaders start shit, And at the end of the shit where they kind of lose, the German people have to take responsibility for their actions. That's sort of where Hitler came from, because of the 20s, where the Treaty of Versailles, is that the right one? Yeah, at the end of World War One.
Yep.
Yeah. That was two Warburgs, two brothers on each side, and they're trying to figure out what's the best for them. And Germany was crushed under it, like economically and everything else like that. And that allowed it. Like if you go back in time and get rid of Hitler, you probably get someone called Hitler. It doesn't matter. He's a character in the story, but if you get rid of Hitler out, the story would sort of follow the same arc because of the way that Germany was treated from after the war. Like they didn't start it; they joined late, but everyone going, "Oh, it's your fault."
Yeah, that's always easy,
Yes.
Yeah.
Blaming someone else. So you need a scapegoat for everything, But anyways, I was taught that in school also. Why, like during the A-levels in economy class, how they wanted to tell us, that we will never have to forget and, always remember what our ancestors have done. I was like, wait a minute, how can you know what my ancestors have done? What shit do you know about my family? So this narrative is even being transported in schools from the teachers to the children,
Oh, and, you just look at the rise of wokenism in university, which has been going on for 10, 20 years. And that's the problem. All the college students in the States, when they come out, they're full of Marxist ideas and socialism, and they've got all this debt. And so it feeds Antifa. It's like, and actually, we want things, but you're a dumbass. Oh.
Yeah, but actually, and if you look at our situation, how many refugees have been pumped into the country, we have already, resolved our karma, finished, It's like 3 million foreigners in the country who are feeding off us, they get everything they need, So I think we are done now with that part of history, like karma-wise.
Yeah,
just a joke. It is sarcastic. Sorry.
No, that's all right. Robin Williams, when he was doing promotion for, I can't remember which film, he had an honest question from a German journalist, which was like, "Why don't you think there are any funny Germans?" And Robin Williams just snapped back, "Because you killed them all." and she took it serious, like, yeah, probably.
Yeah, there have been a lot of Germans have been killed during the Second World War. No one is talking about it. I think it has been even like about 10 million, I've heard, or 12 million, like a high number.
It's they suffered as well because they're peasantry and all that type of stuff. There's a mini series starring Robert Carlyle. Is that if you say his name? You recognize him. He's a brilliant actor. But he was in a miniseries called The Rise of Hitler. And it shows Hitler from birth up until when he becomes chancellor in 1933, I think it is. Or around that, or it's up to the start of the Second World War. But it did show that not every German wanted the socialists in. And they were... persecuted, and a lot of people left because they could see why. So it's easy to say, oh, all the German people supported Hitler. But in that regime,
it never works out. This is you need. I mean, the system needs to create separation. So this is just another tool, bringing countries onto a certain position. So that's actually like so old and outshoot. I can't hear it anymore. So boring.
Yeah. And it's like clamping down rules of COVID. It's like, really? Are you that stupid? Grandfather told me about this stuff already. Yeah. It's like the French government. Like they're still scared of their people because of 200 years ago with the French Revolution. It's like the whole thing with they were bringing a law where you couldn't film police or something. And it's like we are going to bring in this law, and then the French said, no, you're not. And then the French government said, like, yes, you're right. I'm not doing this anymore. So thank you for calling in. And thank you
I
to
only
your dog.
wanted to say something.
Yes, go ahead.
It's also my birthday today. And I gifted myself something from your beautiful country. And this is a fat ass Boulder Opal.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Nice rock.
Yes, I got it. Thank you. I got it in the mother stone still. So it's not a jewelry. It's like a stone which I really have to carry with both hands.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like so big. It's so beautiful. So yeah.
They can be used as a weapon.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Have a good Christmas and good New Year's, and thank you for your shows, and you're just stay as funny as you are.
We will.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, and we'll probably talk to you next year, because I'm sure something will happen. Isn't that right, Andrew?
Something inevitably will happen at one day. Yeah. So we're gonna be calling this. We're gonna be calling an end to this comedy show, but I want to bring up one last comical subject matter. Now, a few weeks ago, people were asking. It was one of my shows where I told people about I used to buy and sell guns when I was really young, and I kind of re-looked at some of the old gun collection stuff that I had, my old records and stuff, and I ran across. This was from 1999. Some notes that I was going to make, and it was about a gun that I was going to create called the Liberal Liberator. A gun for liberals, and all the different features that it has on it. Okay, and so I called up a gun nut friend of mine that is a gun architect and stuff, and I started talking about this, and he's like, "It can sell, man. It really can sell." So over the next couple months here, you might see me doing something where I'm gonna try to sell the Liberal Liberator.
Does it, every time it fires, is there a sample saying sorry?
No, it's going to be a working gun, but I renamed it the Millennial Liberal Liberator, liberating you from your dogmas about guns.
Nice.
Yes, it'll look very sci-fi. It'll look like a Han Solo blaster.
Oh yeah, for the 21st century. Yes,
exactly. It's for the millennials.
Yeah, and this will blow your minds, listeners. We are a fifth into the 21st century.
That's right, a fifth into the 21st century.
Angry kitty.
Exactly. So people are asking, is it going to shoot bullets? Yes, it will shoot bullets. It's to get you to love the sport of shooting and to not just flip out because it's a real gun.
Yeah, and for those, if you play video games, it's the same. There's just the thing of like throwing paper into a into a trash can. It's the ability of making something go where you want. It's aim and shoot. Now, obviously, don't go onto a bus full of nuns and shoot them all. That's not right. But there's still archery, javelin. I mean, how far do you want to take this? We ban guns. Well, do we get rid of half the sports in the Olympics? Well, he's got a spear. They're dangerous. Look, here's footage of a man getting stabbed with it. That's an official that got in the way. Yes, but he hurt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just so you know, I learned deep breathing exercises from learning how to shoot. Hoff, I learned that from shooting.
Yeah,
how to control your breath so you're a good shot.
I every time someone brings up flat Earth, I just go, well, what about snipers? Because they actually allow for the curvature of the Earth, and if they allow for that and it's flat, how do they still make their target?
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah. I think way too much, and you're lucky I am a hermit.
Yes. All right, Monty, we're going to call this the end of our last of the year of comedy shows. Why don't you say your final words, and then I'll wait for people to get a hold of you.
Well, thank you for having me on. When did we start? March?
April.
April?
Yeah.
So that's 9 months. Hey, we're pregnant. Thank you for allowing this. Thank you for everyone listening as well. I'm glad we're smashing up the energy so people get a smile and just help them move forward. We get a lot of messages saying, "Oh, we're sort of like a drug now. It's like, I'm hanging. You got any more of those comedy shows, man? Just a little laugh, man. So it's great. Enjoy your holiday season. I think Hanukkah started today. And I'm a Jedi, so we don't really go into that type of stuff. But enjoy your celebration of the winter solstice. We'll be doing that down here in the summer solstice. Christmas, you also have New Year's. For those following the US elections, remember, it is a comedy on a certain level, and we shall return next year. And I'm sure whatever happens, we'll make fun of it because it's just easier to live that way. It's like... and also remember that those in charge don't like it when you point and laugh. You can catch me on Wafer Thin Entertainment on YouTube, Wafer Thin Entertainment on Rumble, Wafer Thin Entertainment on BitChute, on Twitter. If you're brave enough to go into that minefield, it's great for comedy. At Real Monty Dean. On Instagram, I'm Monty.Dean. What else? I'm on Facebook, just Monty Dean. I think I'm Monty.Dean.5. I'm the 5th generation, not G5. Pointing that out. And I pop up on Andrew's shows when he has them because he likes talking to me. I can also be seen at a supermarket every second Tuesday when I buy food.
All right, Monty, thanks a lot. You all knew who I am. You go to my website, Andrew BARTZIS AND DEAN. Catch me on Facebook, YouTube, etc., etc. So the end of the year, 130 plus shows. We will be back coming the 6th of January or 5th of January with a new show schedule. If you haven't already signed up for the email list, go to andrewbartzis.com. Check out Facebook for all the updates. Now, Robert will be playing some replays during our off time. So for those of you that need your fix, don't go back to the hopium. Okay?
Hopium bad.
Hopium bad. Don't go back to the hopium. And I once again encourage you to practice the homework, to put out beams out there that nothing is going to happen on the 21st. I encourage you to make cash bets that nothing will happen also. You will win. Okay. And then this coming holiday season, I am looking for a much needed time off to go and do my own personal inner explorations, and to have a good old time with families and friends. All right, everyone, we will be back this coming Tuesday for our last show with Martina Grubmuller. All right, everyone, have an amazing holiday season, and we'll catch you in the new year.
Have fun.
Each different bubble of reality is true. A galactic historian is a person that looks at all the lines of dramatic karma. Nudge, nudge, it's the Holy Grail. Improvise. Mysterious. It's counter psychic intelligence.
Why is DNA farming of this star cluster so important?
Because we do manifest our reality. We do create our reality.